name and Bankole Thompson, 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600 is the number to call and chime in this conversation. My guest, Lavonie Perriman, our former chair of the Michigan Democratic Black Caucus. Here we're talking about the National Student Walkout, but we're also going to talk about the Michigan governor's race in view of what happened in Pennsylvania last night. Let me do this. I want to take a call here from Stacy. Stacy has a question or comment on the student walkout issue.
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
There was a TV show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? The adults didn't know the answers. Now they're having another show about children that are stumping adults. So these children that are watching out for this protest to change the gun laws are smarter than some of the people that are calling up and saying that they were coerced. No, These kids are doing things in school we never thought of in our 30s and our 40s and our 50s.
Right.
So these children, to me, are intelligent, compassionate, and caring and loving. They don't want to sit in school and look over their shoulders. So for that other person that called in, no. They did this all on their own. No parent could coerce them because the parents are right beside them.
Right. No, gotcha.
So are you smarter than a fifth grader? Because these kids are.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Stacy. 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600 is the number to call and chime in this conversation. You know, I wrote a column about Lavonie a couple of weeks ago. So I'm trying to pull it up here on the Trade News website. This was February 25th. And I said, towards the end of my column, I said this, that if the adults in Washington are willing to sit and do nothing, students will lead the charge towards changes to our gun laws. They won't allow their schools to be war zones anymore. The response of these students reads like the biblical prophecy, and the little child should lead them, because politicians have decided that their alliances are more important than guaranteeing the safety of all kids. And the problem here is that for people like Chris and others, I think it's like being in denial, right? I mean, and I think that's part of the opposition to what kids are doing. Everything has to be seen through the lens of politics. It's always like somebody's trying to get what you have. Somebody's trying to take away what you have. Somebody doesn't believe in what you have. Even when it's coming through the channels of innocence. Nothing is more innocent than students, kids who don't have anything to do with politics. All they want is a safe environment so they can go to school, learn and study, and then be great leaders tomorrow. And the fact that they've taken upon this role to really express themselves, why must people attribute toxic politics with it?
Two things. Politics should be looked through the eyes of the people who are living the lives, those voters, the constituents, the people in the community. Politics should be looked at through the eyes of the people. That's number one. Number two, remember, if we look at history, most of our leaders and most revolutions were really spurred by young people.
Right.
Young people. I mean, if we talk about, we can go back biblically and look at what happened in terms of our Christianity. That was a young man. We can look at Stokely Carmichael, Reverend Jesse Jackson. We can look at Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks. Before Rosa was on the bus, she was a young lady in the NAACP. She was in the youth division of the NAACP.
But even and I think that is noted. All the civil rights leaders are noted. But even before we even get to that, these are students who simply want their kids their schools to be safe. Period. They're not asking to be the Speaker of the House. Okay, they're not looking to run for state rep. They only want their schools to be safe, to be gun-free zones, not to be war zones.
Right.
And they're pissed off that their friends that they see every day have been massacred.
Absolutely.
Some of their friends are now in the graveyard. That is what is disturbing them, and they want these folks to just, get that. That's what I mean. When you watch this, that's what when I look at these students, I'm not seeing people with raw ambition trying to be Speaker of the House or trying to be Reverend Jesse Jackson or some other civil rights leader. They're not interested in that. Yes, they want their schools to be free of, So why can't adults accept that? Why can't adults and grown-up folks like Chris and others accept that reality?
And our leadership that spoke out against these students today. Lansing leaders, Republican leadership spoke out against the students today. We're talking about students who absolutely cannot vote. They were speaking out of their fear, their pain, their emotions, their heart, and their fear cause them to say, no longer am I going to go to a funeral or bury a friend. No
Right.
longer am I going to get up in the morning and wonder if I'm going to come back home for dinner. No longer am I going to wait for you, you leader, whoever
that's
you
why
may be,
they have the
that
march.
to protect me. We should be supporting someone. Remember, this is coming from their heart, nowhere else. This is not coming from their ballot box. This
Right.
is not coming from their politics at
Right.
all.
You know, and that's why the students are saying in March, I think it's March 24th, the march
Yes.
in Washington, marching for our lives. Let's go to the phone lines. 313-778-7600, 313-778-7600 is the number to call and chime in this conversation. Let's go to Mrs. Walton. Question or comment?
Hi, Bankley.
How are you?
I am doing just great. First of all, I don't know what Chief Craig is trying to do. I guess he's trying to start a major vigilante when it comes to children and teachers carrying guns into the schools. I'm a retired teacher, and I tell you, if they don't deal with the social issues and environmental issues in our schools, we're going to have a more serious problem than what we have now. First of all, if they would just fund the schools correctly and support the different trade schools so our students can have a way out other than everybody assuming that they're going to go to college. No, that's
Or
not
play
true.
basketball or play football?
Play basketball or football, and then you move the social workers out of the building when the children need help, the parents need help. And one of the major things I was thinking while listening to you, what is the legal parameters about all of this? I mean, if a teacher should shoot a student,
Right.
you going to pull the teacher out of court, pull the teacher out of the classroom so she got to go to court.
Well,
The teacher's no longer in the classroom.
But here's the deal, Ms. Walton, stay with me here. There are a couple of liabilities there because one, let's say God forbid there was a mass shooting at Castell, and let's say okay, this legislation that they're trying to push in Lansing to arm teachers. Let's say maybe 10 teachers at Castell are carrying guns with them, right? And so mass shooting happened. God forbid, we're just talking. And it happens in a classroom where one of the classroom that is taught by one of the armed teachers, and let's say the teacher, God forbid, misses the shooter, right? He ends up, the bullet ends up hitting 2 or 3 or 4 students. That's a lot of liability for DPS. One, that teacher, I'm sure, will be prosecuted by Kim Worthy, maybe for reckless shooting or something, unless it's really, really genuine. But also, you have the families of those 4 students, God forbid, if they were hit, who would sue DPS. We know DPS finances are not the best finances there is. So they'll face a massive civil lawsuit. I mean, it'll just be a hot mess in the district.
And Bankley, on top of that, the loss of life.
Right,
the loss of life by an accident.
Right. But there's a liability question there. Go ahead, Ms. Walton.
The liability is going to be very huge. And also regarding the loss of life, how about a situation where students know, the kids know where your guns are in school. Where you going to hide your gun at?
Yes.
They can get a hold to the gun and shoot up the school and the teacher too. We know that there's violence in DPS. We already know this. Teachers have gotten beaten up already. Who's to say if they don't get around and grab the teacher, beat her up, and shoot him or her?
Right.
So for Chief Craig to say that he's on this page, it irks me and made me angry because we cannot afford any more lives. Number one, DPS can't afford anything regarding a lawsuit. And you're right, January is going to come in there, and it's going to be a hot mess. I think they need to just go back to what do these kids need? These kids need an education. That's what teachers are there for. Teachers are trying to educate. I'm not even trying to do your job, Bankley. I am an educator. Police officers, they're trained to protect. Let us stay in our role and stop trying to take over.
Right. Teachers should be focused on teaching and not trying to go to the gun range and trying to be a ready sniper on campus in case there's a shootout. That's not what they should be doing.
Yeah, Miss Walton knows this as a teacher, that the daily grind of a teacher starts at 7 in the morning, doesn't end till